it's hard to answer something like that when you're at such a, this thing is like about, you know, enjoying this whole day, but you know, when we got the news before, it kind of bummed us out completely.
I got the news on the way here, and it hasn't sunk in yet. Jeff was one of us. He's very much a family member. God rest his soul. I mean, there's nothing. There's no answer. There's nothing. All you could do is tip your hat. Thank you for what you've done for us.
Well, as far as certainly for thrash metal and one of the founding fathers of the Big Four, you know, it's in a sad day. It's kind of cool that all these people and all these fans and everybody are here to be able to honor him tonight. So the Golden Gods, the timing of this, as sad as it is, we can lift Jeff up with great memories tonight.
Well, it's always difficult when you lose a metal brother, especially one that, you know, grew up in your area, grew up in your time zone, your, you know, same genre, same, you know, same goals in life, same everything. And to see someone go too early always sucks, you know. It's not the first time for us, but it's never easy, never easy. And God bless him, and R.I.P. Jeff Hanneman.
I got to say, Jeff Hanneman was an amazing human being. He was very low profile. He actually chose to lie low and just write some of the greatest riffs ever. So rest in peace, Jeff. We're going to miss you tremendously.
I wrote him today, you know, and just gave my condolences. I mean, it's a shocking thing for everyone. I'm sure everybody really kind of has to just take a day to kind of digest it, and you know, definitely a friend, but also a fan. You know, we go way back, a long time. Did a lot of touring with Slayer, and Jeff was always the down-to-earth guy that liked his friends, his fans, and you know, liked to have a good time. And it's definitely a sad day because, you know, I'm sure, you know, it's been a long battle for him, and for it to end like this is, you know, bad.
Yeah, he was a very down-to-earth guy, and, you know, off stage, you had to do a double take because he didn't carry himself like a big, you know, well-known musician that he was. And, yeah, he wrote some monumental riffs. I remember seeing them the first time they ever played in the Bay Area while I was in high school, when they supported the band Las Rocket, and who we've been friends with as well.
You got to figure what Jeff, you know, contributed, you know, like with the Big Four, you know, Slayer being one of the forefathers of that genre of music that they created, you know what I mean, with the thrash and all that stuff. So, I mean, Jeff's music, you know, it's a testament. It'll stand the test of time. You know, Jeff's musically, what his achievements are. Jeff was just a good dude, though. I mean, every time I hung out with him. So, like I always said, just one of the guys and just easygoing dude.
The second show I've ever seen in my life was with him and Slayer, and it was insane. He's an incredible guitar player, a very big inspiration to me, along these two guys.
Yeah, and just music in general.
Music in general.
Yeah, all of us in general. I mean, always. I mean, who hasn't covered? I mean, it's f***ing Slayer, you know.
Everybody's learned a Slayer song.
It's a huge loss. I don't know if it's really even settled it like completely. You know, we just found out on the drive here like an hour ago, so it's insane.
Crushing. I can't tell you anymore. You know, other than there'll be a lot of special tributes tonight for that man. You know,
It was funny, man. I remember that.
just wild. I heard about it on the way over, and so I still don't know all the details. So.
Jeff Hanneman was in probably one of the most influential bands of my generation, and I've known those guys since 1987, so that's a very long time. And this was about the furthest thing from my mind today that I ever thought I'd hear. So it's still a very, very big shock. And my heart is hurting, honestly.
Jeff Hanneman, well, obviously it's terrible, you know. But I don't see how you can say anything else. It's just awful. We toured with him a couple of times. I didn't know him that well, you know, but I knew him. He was a friend of mine, I'd say.
Right, I don't know. Again, like when I think in my era of like middle school and early high school, people wore Metallica t-shirts and stuff like that, which I love Metallica, but like Slayer was something home to me because everyone thought it was like devil's music, but they never really understood because they didn't listen. And that's the same thing that we have too. Like no one really listens to your music, and so the message is lost, you know? But like I stood behind Slayer like when I was a young kid. It was like what I loved, you know, because no one else kind of knew what it was, you know? Something I knew that no one else had, and our fans feel that way.
Yeah, you got to look at something where it's a band that it's when you become a cliche for people to yell your name at rock shows, you know you've made it. And that band is, they are in the annals and the canon of rock history forever.
Yeah, we were just talking about this. We were,
as a guitar player, I mean, he wrote some of the greatest metal riffs, I think, in the last 25 years. You know, and massively underrated, you know, in my opinion. I think a lot of the attention goes to Carrie, but Jeff wrote a lot of the classic riffs.
Yeah.
And it kind of just, you know, nobody talks about, you know, all the stuff off of, you know, South of Heaven, Seasons in the Abyss, and even the earlier stuff. And it's a huge loss.
Yeah.
Overall.
It really is. We knew each other, we were acquaintances, and you know, get to watch him play, you know, which I'm extremely lucky for, and he was a really cool dude at the end of the day, yeah.
It's just been so like amazing, like that it all happens the way it does, you know what I mean? Like the coincidence that we would all be together today, supporting each other in the style and genre of music we do. Him being one of the part of the earliest people to push, you know, really heavy music for it to be accepted mainstream, you know, and you know, you can't say anything else but that it's magical, you know, that we're all able to be here to support each other and let everyone know how great he was and how important it was, their donation to what we do, and without people like him, without bands like that, you know, we wouldn't be able to survive and feed our families and help our fans get through the tough times and you know, everyone be a family the way we are.
I'll speak about Jeff as a fan because we really weren't close as friends or anything, but we had been together in metal circles for 3 decades together, and my respect for him has always been great, and it's a sad day that we have to witness this at such a young age because he is definitely one of the, how I want to put this, he wrote some of the coolest, best, most memorable, heavy riffs in our genre of music of all time. You know what I'm saying? Rain and Blood and all that kind of thing. It's with us forever, and we're fortunate for that. So God bless him, you know.
Slayer was, you know, always a great band. I had the pleasure of meeting Jeff a few times, and I'm actually really saddened by what happened today. And believe me, when I get back to Seattle, I'm going to pull out my Slayer CD collection and just play the shit out of it.
I first saw Slayer in 1983 in Toronto at Larry's Hideaway, a little club. This was the Show No Mercy or Haunting the Chapel tour. There was about maybe 15 or 20 people there. And I walked up the stairs and bumped into Jeff Hanneman, and we went into his dressing room and drank some beers and had some smokes and had a great time. And for him to die before the age of 50 is just yet another tragedy of rock and roll that it's just hard to fathom, hard to wrap your head around how somebody could die so young. That's just, I quit drinking. I don't drink anymore. I'm sick and tired of these headlines and these stories. It's just endless.
Yes, that was very shocking. I found out a couple hours ago from my manager, who's good friends with Slayer's manager. I mean, they're best friends. And I don't know, truthfully, it's a weird atmosphere to talk about it because I feel like I haven't really even processed the information. We've done many tours with Slayer. I've known them for 20 years, and it's, you know, really the first thing I think of is the other guys in the band, you know, more than how it affects me, how it affects them. So I feel really horrible for those guys. It's really quite a tragic thing. and he's only 49. I mean, you know, he's so young.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like when Whitney Houston passed away the night of the Grammys a few years ago, where it's almost, I mean, it's a horrible, tragic thing, but it's almost better that it happened today because now we can celebrate Jeff's life at a place where I think people will really appreciate him, and it'd be a nice send-off for him. It doesn't mask the sadness of it, but it's kind of like one of those old New Orleans funerals where you make a big party and everyone's dancing and singing rather than crying.
Slayer, one of the most seminal thrash bands of our era, one of the big four. The riffs that he helped construct, the vibe that he set, the standard that he set. It's so tragic how the most talented and the most vibrant musicians of our era have been stolen from us of late. The past number of years have been really devastating, and this is a big one. So I have nothing but the utmost respect and admiration for his legacy and what he's created, and my deepest condolences go out to the guys in Slayer and to their families and to his family, and I just wish them nothing but peace and comfort.